Greetings, gods and goddesses in training. Welcome back to the channel. It is Uncle Makara. All relations. Let's get started today. Today we're talking about an incredible topic. We're talking about authority figures. What if you get intimidated by authority figures? The guru, the big boss man, the big boss woman in the room, the celebrity, the one with high status, okay? The one with the perfectly symmetrical LinkedIn profile. Let me tell you something. Initiate of this flow state path. Those are all projections. Those are all projections. It's time that you start to reconnect with your internal authority figure, your inner sovereignty, your inner sense of restraint, moderation, self-control. When you can establish this internal power, you're not going to seek a disturbance in the force of these authority figures any longer. These projections is just a relic of the inner child who was waiting for a pat on the head, but never got it. Let's get something very clear, very, very clear. Authority is not a person. It's an energy. Authority is not a person. It is an energy. And you've been taught how to bow to it instead of become it. When you clam up of someone important and they seem superior, it's not because they're superior. It's because you're unconsciously contracted. You've placed yourself one down in terms of this hierarchy or ladder, which is completely subjective. Like a rootless tree in a windstorm. You're looking for approval like it's oxygen. What if I told you you were never meant to shrink to fit in terms of the comfort zone? You're here to vibrate so clearly in your soul truth that no title, no salary, no silver tongue or gift of the gab can override your presence. This is the alchemy. Whenever you feel small in front of anybody, you're feeling inferior, don't try to impress, don't try to perform, don't try to over-explain yourself. Instead, you drop into your physical body, into your breath, into the place where no man or woman can outrank you simply because you remember who you are. Practice this. Close your eyes, okay, and picture someone that intimidates you, someone who is of authority, someone, let's say, who triggers your inferiority, okay? So, ignore the sirens in the background. Let the fear rise like steam. Don't swat it away. You gotta ask it, where does this live in my body? What child in me is looking to be rescued, not respected? What sacred gift am I withholding by playing small? Then breathe. Just breathe through it, because your nervous system knows the truth. You don't need anything from them. You are the offering. You are the value. Speak from that. Not to impress, but to express honestly, as Bruce Lee would say. Because this universe, it doesn't reward hierarchy. It's just reading the energetics. It's not your boss. That's your mirror. You get what I'm saying? And the moment you own that, you get back into your throne again. So next time you think of somebody that just makes your stomach churn, remember, you're not less. You're just under-practiced in your own royalty. And that's the truth. Kings don't beg, queens don't beg. Gods and goddesses in training don't beg. They bless, they build, they dream, and they provide. Now be the one they remembered because you chose to burn brighter. Stop these comparison traps of you keeping this internal score every time you walk into a room, right? You notice the hierarchy, you notice who's the popular one, you notice who's the one who has a lower status, okay? But these things have become so unconscious for you. Now it's time to see everyone as a soul spark. That's right, as a soul spark. What if I started to treat people not as their weird personas that they're projecting, but I'm just speaking to that soul spark. and I'm awakening that soul spark. And I'm feeling my own inner sovereignty and stability in my own nervous system. What can authority do to me now? The only authority there is God. So what makes you say that somebody else is this middleman towards God? What makes you say that? What makes you get into the savior mindset, or this kind of like intimidation mindset, where you feel threatened by someone else's success or someone else's presence? Why not bask in the afterglow of that? Why not get inspired by that instead? Why the hate? Why the bitterness? Why the animosity against the authority? Maybe authority fucked you over in the past, right? Maybe someone from authority really messed with you. Maybe you didn't have a good time with teachers or cops or whoever else was the authority figure at that time. Like some boss who made fun of you in front of everybody else, right? So these memories are still in your brain. They're still stacked as these impressions, these samskars, right? So now that you recognize this, it's time to make it as swift and as fun as possible, because guess what? These agents of the Matrix that are supposed authority aren't authority. They're testing your authority. That's the way at least I think about it. I don't know if that's the truth, but that's just my belief system, is that if someone's trying to mess with me, they're messing with God, okay? And trust me, God is gonna have a lot of fun fighting for me. There's a technique that I've taught a lot of my students, which is to imagine someone's timeline from the time they're a little baby to the time they're senile and in their deathbed. When you do that, you humanize someone, right? You start taking them as somebody who has an entire life, and you're not just seeing them for that one splice, right? That one scene or that one chapter where you saw them, okay? In my life, I've made contact with a lot of celebrities, influencers, actors, different kinds of people. But I never treated them better or worse, right? When people come to a session here, everybody's in the same waiting room. There's not a VIP waiting room for like the celebrities or whatever. You get what I'm saying? There's no split like that, because we're all like chess pieces. We get put in the same box at the end of the day, okay? So understand, this person does not have any control over you, okay? You have control over you. You have the authority, because the word authority has the word author in it. And are you the author? Are you the creator of your own life? Or are you letting people edit your creations? Snip something away, edit the creation, Photoshop it, add some layer over it, backmask it using another track, rearranging it and remixing it to suit their own agendas. Are people doing that, or are you allowed to bask in your own creations and gifts? Because that's the real energy of authority, at least to me, right? I'm not looking at let's say Donald Trump and thinking he's the president, he has absolute authority over me, right? I mean, I'm in India, what are you talking about? If you're in the US, for instance, are you looking at the president thinking, that person has all authority over me, right? They barely do. It's just a cardboard cutout, guys, okay? The reason why, let's say, someone like Trump got elected is because he spoke the truth. He's not faking things, right? He is who he is. We can't deny that. He is who he is, right? And that's the energy we're really looking for nowadays, if you notice, is that transparency, because we're so tired of the fake shit, right? We're so tired of pretending. And these solar flares that are coming through, guys, all it's saying is you can't keep faking your frequency. The moment you keep faking your frequency and trying to be the type of person that you think you should be to appease others and to be warm and fit in, the more you lose access to that actual gift that's so spontaneous. I call it spontaneous mastery, right? We call it freestyle shamanism, which is anywhere, any place, I can transmute. I can make art out of this situation. I can make beauty and art out of this situation. And isn't that a brilliant mindset to tackle authority figures or establishment settings or bureaucracy or politics in a work environment? Instead of focusing on that, focus on your character, the one that you're building. Why not bring it back into your own authority so that you can reclaim your power, so your soul doesn't fragment into all these different places? Here are a few other hacks. I just want to end with this. Act as if the future has already happened. This becomes a time loop reversal. The deepest reality hack is that time is non-linear. Feel that version of you who already has that thing. The quantum field will respond. It doesn't have a choice. So imagine memories from the future as if they're future memories, right? Journal as you've returned from the timeline where it all worked out, and reverse engineer, live backward. Next thing is ego death microdoses. What do I mean by this? Dissolving the I daily, right? Doing something a little bit that pushes you towards your edge and reconnects you to source. Let source speak instead. You don't always have to rely on your notes. You don't always have to rely on your wisdom and certifications and knowledge. You can rely on source. Source reliance, right? Resilience, resourcefulness, going back to source. Who am I without my name, my title, and my traumas? When your identity becomes vapor, your soul takes the driver's seat. And then miracles just start hitchhiking with you. Next is archetypal possession. Pick an archetype and just embody them daily, fully, right? Today I'm a king, today I'm a poet, today I'm a sage. This is just your field testing out your multidimensional awareness, okay? So use this before high stakes events or big transformations. Always decide on an archetype. This is what we do each month, right? We decide on an archetype, we move with it. So don't think just channel the archetype, pull it through, and get it done. Love the part of you that you would hide from God. This is a tough one. But when the self-doubt, when the craving, anything, when the loneliness kicks in, you say thank you. You praise it like a teacher that's disguised as a troll. This flips the polarity, because then shadow becomes a fuel once honored. Don't heal it, just harness it. Every block has a guardian. Bribe them with devotion. If something won't budge in your life, health, wealth, relationships, speak to the gatekeeper of that domain. Why do you think I work with these flow state beings and entities and deities? Because I want my life to be like that. I want to amplify and be in that spontaneous nature in my life. To truly taste that turiya, right? When nothing is moving, most people panic. In the metaphysical, stillness means that the ether is rearranging. So instead, I want you to align with that inner silence, waiting for a divine dispatch. Then the downloads will come. Thank you so much for tapping in and listening. I hope you have an incredible day. I hope this video helps you out today. Share this with a flow me, okay? Let's get it. Upward spiral, gang. May we never be the same again. Osa. Let's win. Upward spiral. May the flow be with you.